All right, we're taking a look at the second and maybe third part of this FRQ. So I've gone ahead and I've written the simplified version of the series out. I think the unsimplified is usually best if you're trying to write the general form of the series. I think the simplified form is usually better if you're trying to evaluate some things. So notice in the second part, they ask for the interval of convergence, okay? So notice the center here is 1. Since the center is 1, the radius of convergence is saying you can go 2 above 1 and this will converge, and you can go 2 below 1 and it'll converge. And so on kind of a low level, you think, oh, okay, so that just means it's going to converge between -1 and 3. But what you have to be careful about here is normally convergence is determined by the ratio test. The ratio test is inconclusive if the ratio works out to be 1. And so for the endpoints of your interval, you're going to have to test those separately. So if I substitute -1 into the series here, the simplified series, I get 1. Then I have -1/2. -1 minus 1 is -2. It's going to give me a +1, okay? If I put -1 into this next term here, -1 minus 1 is -2, squared is -4. Well, it's +4 because it's being squared times an eighth. And so that's going to be +1/2 and so on. Anyway, what you're going to end up with here, you're going to end up with a series, if you keep substituting, that is the positive harmonic. Okay, the positive harmonic is a divergent series. And you may say, well, wait a second, there's that 1 out there. But still, it's just the harmonic with an extra 1 added to it at the start. So that one's going to be divergent. And as a result, it is not, -1 is not going to be included as part of the series. Okay, if we substitute 3 in, however, take a look at what happens. If you put in 3, you've got the original 1. If you go to the second term, 3 minus 1 is 2. We're going to get a -1 there. Then if you put in 3 in the next term, 3 minus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. You're going to get +1/2. Okay. Then you're going to get -1/3. You're going to get +1/4, and so on. That is an alternating harmonic. Because it's an alternating harmonic, it will be convergent at 3, which means 3 is going to be contained in the interval. So it's between -1 and 3, but including 3, not including -1. Okay. The last part here that I'm going to look at in the video is part C. Part C asks you to evaluate f of 1.2. You should just be able to stick 1.2 into the series and evaluate. They ask you to use the first 3 non-zero terms. So you've got 1 minus 1/2 times 1.2 minus 1 plus 1/8 times 1.2 minus 1 squared, and you should be able to evaluate that. Let's go over and look at the scoring guide for this, and let's see what's going on here. So you can see part B here. You can see that it diverges for x equals -1, converges for x equals 3, and then you can see here, yeah, they substituted those values in. 1.2 minus 1 in each case will give you a 0.2 inside parentheses, and it looks like it's going to be about 0.905. So hopefully that matches up with what you did on your own. If it doesn't, hopefully you can figure out how to fix it. Hope the video has helped a bit.